City of Adelaide Council meeting on Tuesday, 25 March 2025. The Lord Mayor is in the chair. This council meeting will be streamed live and recorded for publishing to the internet. Please note that an audio and visual recording is being taken of this meeting. This means that your presence at and any contribution you make to the meeting may be collected, used, disclosed or published publicly by the Council, including transferring outside Australia.
Good evening. Council acknowledges that we're meeting on the traditional country of the Kaurna people of the Adelaide Plains and pays respects to elders past and present. We recognise and respect their cultural heritage, beliefs and relationship with the land. We acknowledge that they are of continuing importance to the Kaurna people living today, and we also extend that respect to other Aboriginal language groups and other First Nations people who are with us. The Council also acknowledges the vision of Colonel William Light in determining the site for Adelaide and the design of the city with 6 squares and surrounding belt of continuous parklands, which is recognised on the National Heritage List as one of the greatest examples of Australia's planning heritage. We pray for wisdom, courage, empathy, understanding and guidance in the decisions that we make while seeking and respecting the opinions of others. May we in this meeting speak honestly, listen attentively, think clearly and decide wisely for the good governance of the City of Adelaide and the well-being of those we serve. I now ask all those present to stand in silence in memory of those who gave their lives in defence of their country at sea, on land and in the air. One leave of absence granted to Councillor Lee. Can I ask if someone would move Councillor Snape moved the confirmation of minutes, seconded by Councillor Noon. All those in favour? All those against? Councillor, were you voting against? Councillor Davis? For or against? I'm sorry. Can we take the vote again? All those in favour? All those against? Thank you. Like to move City and Finance Governance Committee recommendations?
Yes, happy to, Lord Mayor.
En bloc?
Yes, en bloc.
Seconded by Councillor Martin. Any debate on those matters? If not, all those in favour? All those against? That's carried. Thank you, members. I now move to the Infrastructure and Public Works Committee. Councillor Elliott, seconded by Councillor Noon. Would you like to take those en bloc? All those in favour? All those against? That's carried. Thank you. Councillor Giles, did you vote? Can I take that again? All those in favour? All those against? That's carried. Thank you, members. The next item is 13. I'm sorry, I'm just behind on my papers. This is a recommendation to go to the National Assembly in Canberra for ALGA. This is the matter that we have described previously. Could I ask if someone would move the motion be put forward? Councillor Siebentritt moved, Councillor Noon seconded. Any debate on that? Not. I'll put that. All those in favour? All those against? That's carried. Thank you, members. I will have a brief report. The most significant civic event this week was, of course, the Keys of the City going to Electric Field, Zachariah Fielding and Michael Ross. This is the highest honour that the City can bestow on an organisation, and Zachariah and Michael joined the Dalai Lama, David Hooks, Mark Rasciuto, band of the South Australian Police and Barry Humphries. It's interesting that there are only 2 musical or groups or individuals that have been awarded the keys previously. They were the Adelaide Girls Choir and the Police Band. So it's fitting that as a UNESCO City of Music, we should commend some current and forward-looking performers. The key was crafted by the Jam Factory, Stu Colwell and Tom Goling, as a more current and contemporary version of a key. And we were delighted on the evening to see performances by Electric Fields. The festival has ended, and so has the Fringe, with a massive number of sales, and now we're into the French Film Festival. At the moment, we're waiting for progress on the Market Square, and I joined many councillors in going on a tour. It was uplifting to see progress being made and to know that within a year it will be open, and it's something genuinely to look forward to. So could I ask someone move my report? Moved by Councillor Noon, seconded by Councillor Snape.
Lord Mayor, may I ask a question just about that report?
Yes, of course.
In relation to the civic event where the band was provided the key to the city, were the councillors invited to that civic event?
They were invited. It was warned that it was confidential because we didn't announce the item beforehand, but I understand the invitations went out and several councillors attended.
Okay, all right. Right, okay, so it went out purely as a civic event without any heading or any information or detail?
It was noted that it was confidential, and it may not have been very well elucidated.
No, so the reason I asked that question, Lord Mayor, is because there was a civic event invitation sent out, but it contained no text, not even the words confidential in it. So I'm happy to provide some feedback offline.
I'm sorry if that happened.
That's okay.
Please send it to me. I hadn't realised that occurred.
Thank you.
So can we move that the report be noted, and our personal commitment to check that out? Thank you. All those in favour? All those against? That's carried. Thank you, members. Can I ask if there are any other reports from Council? Councillor Noon?
Yeah, I'd like to say that I also went to the Civic and also the Fringe Civic event and the Market Square tour, but I actually represented the council as the appointed board member of the Business Events Adelaide's annual Destination SA, which it's one of the most amazing events. It attracts so many international inbound operators and tourism operators who are coming to South Australia to actually look at South Australia to include in their programs. And the feedback was just incredible. We had it at the Oval underneath the stand. It was just an amazing night, and they had actually hosted these people, these predominantly international Indian tourism operators, and they were so positive about the City of Adelaide. It was incredible, and actually just is testament to the Business Events Adelaide. They punch above their weight. We get a lot of return on investment through funding them through AIDA. It was a really inspirational night, and I had a fantastic time.
Members wishing to give a report? If not, can I ask someone to move the reports be received? Councillor Snape moved, seconded by Councillor Abrahimzadeh. All those in favour? All those against? That's carried. Thank you, members. We'll move on now to motions on notice. And we already see an amendment. Councillor Kouros, was that your amendment?
Yes, I've just added
Thank you.
To bring
and we
to
have a
the
seconder? Councillor Snape has seconded you. Thank you, Councillor.
We've been going on about this as a council for a very long time, I think even before my time. I was first elected in 2018, but I'm sure the previous council before has been advocating for a tram down North Adelaide. I think that almost happened at one stage, but with a change of government that did not. I think it's timely with the upgrade of O'Connell Street and with a lot of activity happening in North Adelaide, a lot of economic growth that's happening in North Adelaide with 88 O'Connell coming on completion, the aquatic centre and the possibility of live golf. There's a lot more other developments happening in North Adelaide as well. We've also got the we don't know what's going to happen with the old Women's and Children's Hospital site there. So there's a potentially that there is going to be a lot of movement within North Adelaide, with that bringing a lot more people, with that being a lot more of a discussion happening with connectivity. I think this is a really crucial time to have this discussion. I know that I note the recommendation from administration saying that they are having these discussions, but I guess I'm just wanting yourself, Lord Mayor, to have more of honest and upfront discussions, which includes, I guess, what we're going to do with the bridge as well.
Thank you, Councillor. I think it may be complicated by the consultation on O'Connell Street, because I believe if the tram goes up, we may lose a lane.
Depends on what the end result would be to that concept design, Lord Mayor. It's not set in concrete. We're still going through a consultation process. And I think with speaking to a lot of my residents and the businesses, they are really wanting to see a tram. So I think that might formulate as part of the consultation what they would like to see.
That's where I was going, Councillor. I just wondered if, through the CEO, we could just check that consultation included the tram, does it?
No. Mr McCready.
Through you, Lord Mayor, the consultation at present is in relation to what Council asked us to go out and consult on, which was elements such as footpath upgrade, separated bikeway, greening, urban elements. However, the administration has also considered, should the feedback come back and the tram is introduced, what another option would look like in regards to that scheme.
Lord Mayor, just very briefly, just to say thank Councillor Couros for bringing this forward. I think this is something that most, if not all, councillors have supported for quite some time. So seeing any efforts to progress this is much welcome. And yeah, to say I support it wholeheartedly, and I look forward to your continued advocacy on the matter. Thank you.
I just also... Oh, no, it definitely won't oppose this, but it has been on the agenda for a while. But I was really interested because for the first time I noticed that we're not able to do this because we have the Adelaide Bridge is structurally unable to support this. So as per the administration's report. So I'm interested to know the cost. Do we actually know how much we would have to spend on the Adelaide Bridge to be able to even contemplate this?
I think that we would not spend money on the bridge if it were for another purpose.
Through the presiding member, I think the point the council is making is that there would be an enhancement cost in relation to the bridge if it was contemplated to support a tram line. The discussion with state government would be centred on that very fact. Is the bridge going to be maintained in its current form, which is renewal works for council, upgrading the bridge to enable it to manage a tram line, becomes a discussion not only about the upgrade of the bridge but funding.
Oh, look, only briefly, Lord Mayor, and I thank the councillor for raising this. I attended the meeting that she did also of the Precinct Association in North Adelaide, at which Lucy Hood raised this matter for the attention of businesses, and I was absolutely delighted by that, because to have the local member, a member of the government, saying to a business group, we're going to discuss the tram, is it on your agenda, was a really positive step. And what's more, the room at that meeting, as Councillor Couros will attest, was wildly enthusiastic about the possibility of a tram being on the agenda. But of course, as the administration's comments noted, 2, 3, 4, it's never really been off the agenda. I'm just grateful to have the member for Adelaide talk about it so publicly, and I think another letter to the Premier would be a great idea.
Councillor Couros?
Yes, only to say that that I'd like to point out to the councillors that that's why I added, together with a discussion on the upgrade of the bridge, because in order to have the tram to come down to North Adelaide, we all know that we need to upgrade the bridge to do so. So we haven't had a direct, or the state government haven't confirmed to us whether they're going to make that commitment or not, and we need to have that commitment. We need to know if the tram is going to travel down the direction of North Adelaide, and if they're going to come to the party in regards to the bridge, and also in Councillor Martin did point out that the member of Adelaide did speak to at the North Adelaide Precinct Association meeting, and she mentioned that she wants to hear from the public whether they want a tram or not. And this is part of the process of voicing our enthusiasm to have a tram to come down to North Adelaide. And I thank you for supporting the motion.
Thank you. All those against? That's carried unanimously. Thank you, members. Are there any motions without notice? No? If that... Yes. Councillor.
In terms of expediency, my suggestion would be to move the motion which is put in the special meeting request that everyone has had due notice of to this time and take it on without, as a motion without notice.
I think that we've called a special meeting. I'm not sure that we can do that. Can we just complete this agenda anyway?
But why can't we move it now, and then it would void the need for a special meeting? I would hate for there to be a break and then us not have quorum, for example, at the second one.
I think because of transparency, it's been published, and therefore it will be proper to have the meeting.
Okay.
And it will be improper to disappoint those people who were going to dial in
sure.
to the opportunity.
Thank you.
We note on your table the responses to questions on notice. Are there any questions without notice? Councillor Martin.
Yes, Lord Mayor, just a follow-up question to 18.5, AIDA Funding Office, and noting that the allocation to Think Lab proposed is a 200% increase on the previous year, and noting also that the startups funded by Think Lab include many with no addresses, and I'm reading from the website of Think Lab, many with no addresses, many with suburban Adelaide addresses, and most, if not all, on the campus of the University of Adelaide. Could AIDA advise the Council through the administration of any startup funded by AIDA through Think Lab, which is on a rateable City of Adelaide property?
I think we'll have to take that on notice, but I suspect that if it's on the university site, it's not a rateable property, but we will check. Thank you. So we'll take that as a question. Councillor?
I just wanted to follow up from Councillor Kouros's motion without notice. I note that some councillors are probably not that
sorry,
equal.
Is this a question on...
without notice?
Okay.
Yeah. Not all councillors are, I suppose, treated equally in terms of the Master of Ceremonies. Councillor Siebertrit, for example, has a percentage rivalling a Deputy Lord Mayor, whereas poor old me, for example, only has one event. What's the rhyme or reason for how this distribution is selected, and when are the staff chosen over elected members to act as Master of Ceremonies?
I can answer that because it's dealt with in my office. I'm come from a position where no member of council was ever a Master of Ceremonies, and I think there's a question about whether it's actually appropriate in any case. I do carry on the tradition because I realise those in the last 4 years of council seem to enjoy it. But I think it's a sort of job that staff members can do. So I think 1 in 10 of the events are chaired either by, emceed either by a member of staff, sometimes by an external organisation if they particularly want to speak. In terms of rotating the receptions and the representations, generally those members who are working full-time are less available. Some of them don't wish to take the tasks on and reject them consistently, and so they tend to go to the people who A, enjoy them, and B, have the time. And I try to distribute the representations according to people's skills. So I know that some people are particularly interested in the arts, some people are interested in defence activities, some people are available at lunchtime. And so, for instance, you have mainly represented me at defence activities and occasionally at the lunchtime concerts and other events. So it's pretty random. But if you tell me what you're not interested in, I'll avoid giving you those options. And if you tell me what you are interested in, I will try and give them to you.
Well, look, I'm very happy to serve. Obviously, I'm ex-defence member, so I appreciate those. But you know, it would be nice to have more than one event because I feel rather left out.
You have served with distinction, so I haven't complained at all about your representation, and I'm very happy to give you some more obligations.
A follow-up question in regards to 18.2 regarding the consultation on the concept plans for O'Connell Street. I'm just wondering if we can drop the entirety of North Adelaide. I've had residents that, because we only done one portion of North Adelaide according to the map, I have residents in the other section of North Adelaide and Melbourne Street that have not received any of the material, and they are a little bit confused to why not.
Councillor, I presume it's because of our consultation policy, which declares where the consultation will occur. And no one ever consults me about Hutt Street or Goodger Street, even though I live quite close. So could I ask for assistance?
Through the presiding member, I'm sure Mr Macready would be more than happy to meet with Councillor Couros to consider the consultation catchment area.
I just think, CEO, or through you, Lord Mayor, that North Adelaide people are very active within their community, and I think if we're going to consult on something in North Adelaide, it has to be the whole of North Adelaide.
We'll meet you and discuss it further. That's the end of the questions without notice. So the next item is closing the meeting. Thank you very much, members. Thank you. have had several communications with members. Councillor Lee, as you know, is on a leave of absence. We've had apologies from Councillor Martin and Giles, and we've had Snape. And we've had a material conflict declared by Councillors Noon and the DLM. 1, 2, 3. And has Councillor Ho declared? We haven't received it. He hasn't given it to me.
Can you give us more information on the apologies? Because Councillor Snape and Councillor Martin and Councillor Giles were here for dinner. I mean, Councillor Giles wasn't, but we would have had quorum if Councillor Snape and Councillor Martin had turned up to do their jobs.
I haven't spoken to them, but they appear to have sent their apologies to somebody, but not me.
What form has that apology come through?
I'm not sure. Can anyone help?
What's your question, Councillor?
What was the form of the apology?
The apology from Councillor Giles was via email. Councillor Snape was via telephone call, and Councillor Martin, I think, was a verbal.
Did they give any reason?
Unable to attend.
They were unable to attend? So we've got a number of councillors who just haven't shown up to do their jobs.
Had I progressed this, I would have wanted to tidy up the wording slightly with your motions, but there's no
it's a moot point
now.
now, I suppose. Let's go home to our families. But how disappointing that we have councillors who couldn't be bothered to show up to duty. I mean, I suppose that's one of the reasons why we should probably have a by-election.